She was there when the ship left port. Her keycard was still in the cabin. Her suitcase was still packed. And her laptop, sitting open on the desk, was still on. Not just on. Active, modifying files, rewriting its own server logs in ways that no human hand could have caused, because there was no human hand. She was gone. Welcome to the strangest digital trail in recent maritime mystery. And buckle up, because this one doesn't end where you think it will. A cruise ship, thousands of passengers, a floating city of buffets and blissful ignorance, somewhere between two ports in open water. A cabin steward knocks mid-morning. No answer. They use the master key. The room is pristine. Bed made. Luggage present. No note. No sign of struggle. No sign of her. Just an open laptop, screen glowing, fan humming, as if the machine itself was the only one home, and very busy. Clue number 1, the empty cabin. On its own. Heartbreaking but not unheard of. Investigators have seen this pattern before. Packed bags, no body, no witness. But here's where this case splits from every other one. The laptop was talking. Clue number 2, the anomalous machine. When digital forensic investigators pulled the activity logs, something was immediately wrong. The laptop had been connecting to the ship's onboard network at timestamps that were physically impossible if the owner had gone overboard hours earlier. Not just connecting, writing. Server-side log entries were being modified, timestamps were shifting, access records were being quietly, methodically altered. Not deleted, altered. Because whoever was doing this wasn't trying to erase the story. They were trying to rewrite it. Log analysis in digital forensics covers everything from network device logs to endpoint logs, operating system events, application logs, database logs. When those logs start changing themselves after the fact, every forensic investigator knows the same thing immediately. Someone wanted to control the timeline, and a machine doesn't do that on its own. Clue number 3, the keycard data. Modern cruise ships are more digitally surveilled than most people realize. Keycard tracking records when passengers enter cabins, access certain areas, or disembark. The keycard for this cabin hadn't been used after a specific hour the night before. No exits, no re-entries. The door, electronically speaking, had been sealed shut, yet the laptop inside kept working. Keep that contradiction in mind, because it only gets thornier. Here's a question that'll keep you up tonight. If you were on that ship and you saw something, would you come forward, or would you quietly get off at the next port and say nothing? Comment your thoughts below, because what comes next depends entirely on who else knew what was happening in that corridor. Clue number 4, what the data actually revealed. Investigators cross-referenced digital network pings with localized security cameras and found a gap. A deliberate, surgical gap. The camera covering that corridor had a window of missing footage. Not corrupted, not malfunctioning. Missing. Someone had accessed the security system, and the laptop's log modifications lined up almost perfectly with that same window of time. The machine wasn't haunted. It was being used, remotely, carefully, and by someone who understood exactly how the ship's network architecture worked. Clue number 5, the jurisdiction trap. Ships are flagged in countries like Panama or Liberia for tax purposes, owned by companies incorporated elsewhere, and traveling through the territorial waters of multiple nations on a single voyage. By the time someone takes investigative authority, witnesses have disembarked, crew members have been reassigned, and the ship has continued its schedule as if nothing happened. And that ship? It kept sailing. Right on schedule. Clue number 6, the unresolved questions. The data trail points to someone with network access, technical knowledge, and a reason to rewrite a timeline. It doesn't point to where she went. No body was ever recovered. No confirmed sighting. No arrest. The modified logs proved one thing beyond doubt. Someone, after she vanished, wanted the digital record of that night to tell a different story. What were they hiding? Her departure? Her presence somewhere else on the ship? Something that happened in that cabin before the keycard went silent. The laptop has since been seized, the logs preserved, and somewhere, someone knows exactly why a machine in an empty cabin was working so hard to tell a story that wasn't true. The ocean doesn't give up its secrets easily, but sometimes the hard drive does. If this case crept under your skin the way it did mine, hit subscribe, because we follow the threads everyone else drops, and we don't stop until the data runs out.